Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 23rd, and today we're going to take a look at this much talked about heat wave across Pacific Northwest. How long will it last? How hot will we get? And when will it end? If you look at this low pressure out here, you can even see a few lightning strikes out there as well. This is eventually going to kick towards the Pacific Northwest on Monday and bring a marine push at least to western portions of British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon, and eventually cool down the rest of the area as we go on in through Tuesday. And it may bring some convection with it as well. So taking a look here across the rest of the country, we had some severe weather through Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, all the way up through Canada. Some tornadoes were reported. The monsoon is going through New Mexico, Arizona, all the way up through Nevada, portions of California as well. And you can see the tropical system out here, Celia, churning in the eastern Pacific. So looking around the rest of the country, see some heat advisories for Texas and the south, excessive heat warnings for Louisiana and Alabama, some severe thunderstorm warnings going on across Minnesota right now and portions of Kansas. And you can see our heat advisory there highlighted for western Washington, Oregon, down through Southern California, northern California and southern Oregon. And check out this little flood advisory down here towards Death Valley. A thunderstorm roaming around down there. Doesn't take too much rain to cause some flooding in this area. Some of these areas only get as little as 2 inches of rain per year, so any kind of rainfall can cause some nuisance flooding. Yesterday's heat tax 68. Today we got to 71, just 1 degree below average. And as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to be above average and well above average for Sunday and Monday, potentially up towards 90 degrees for SeaTac. And you can see we're not going to be up towards record territory here because we have to deal with that heat event we had last year, 102, 104, 108 in back-to-back days there last year. So we're not going to reach those, but otherwise it would be a pretty significant heat wave and flirting with record highs if you discount last year. But now looking at the 12Z European, you can see this trough kicking out of the region here finally as we go through the day Friday, and the ridge builds in nice and strong across North America all the way up into Canada here, and you can see that low pressure system roaming around the Pacific here. It's finally going to kick towards Pacific Northwest and end our heat wave for western portions. Another warm day will occur on Tuesday, but we should be getting some convection, especially through British Columbia here as well, and that may extend down into the Washington, Oregon Cascades, even a slight chance of a thunderstorm over the lowlands. We'll see how this goes. These features are very subtle and they're hard to pick up until sometimes the day of, so we'll continue to watch that. Now, going through the extended of the European here, you can see how it builds that ridge back up over Alaska and some of the Northwest Territories, Yukon and northern BC. So we may warm up a little bit again towards next weekend, but not as extreme as the heat wave coming. At least it doesn't look like it right now. So this is the GFS. The model's been really good showing the thermal trough, as you can see here, building up the coastline. Sunday, you can see it well in place all the way up to western Washington. And as we go through Monday, it's still pretty much over western Washington for one more very warm day for western portions. But along the coastline, that cooler air will start to make its way in, especially early Monday afternoon into the evening, and then we're going to kick this trough off to the west side here, or east side of the mountains here, and cool down the western portions, at least for Tuesday, it looks like at this point. The GFS pinpointed today pretty well in the operational run, about 71 for Seattle, some nice warm temperatures down through Willamette Valley. Great day out there today, nice blue sky, and we should do this again tomorrow. It looks like we're going to be mid, maybe upper 70s for some portions of the Puget Sound. And Willamette Valley could get towards the 80s, especially the Portland area there. Eastern Washington up towards 80 degrees tomorrow as well. If we get towards Saturday, check this out, getting up into the mid 80s, mid and upper 80s up across the southern Puget Sound area down towards Portland, could get up towards 90 tomorrow. We'll have to see, or sorry, Saturday. We'll have to see how that works out. Now looking at the GFS here as we go into Sunday, check this out. Some 90s are now around the Puget Sound, 89 all the way out to Hoquiam, 80 for Quileute. Look at Portland there, mid and upper 90s. Could they get there? It's possible. And as we go on through Monday, we should do this again. Another very warm day across the region. There should be some 90s through the Puget Sound through Portland. And this GFS has kind of been highlighting some outlandish temperatures here for Monday, at least on the control run. So we'll have to see how that goes. But there is the outside potential for 2 back-to-back 90-degree days for Seattle, which is pretty rare in and of itself. And check this out, some of the portions of eastern Washington could be looking at triple digits as we go through the day here Monday. You notice as we go through Tuesday, we do cool down pretty much, even the eastern portions here. And we could get some convective activity with that low pressure system moving in here. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. I wanted to show you this. This is 5,000 foot winds. You can see we start to turn these offshore overnight tonight. So you can kind of see them with that northeast flow across the Puget Sound all the way off the Oregon coast. See that Okanagan Valley gap wind kind of coming down through BC into west or eastern Washington, sorry. And as we go on in through Friday, you can see the offshore flow still going on. There is going to be some sea breeze activity going on. Some of this offshore flow, as it comes down the sound, actually comes from the north, and it'll keep some areas right along the water a bit cooler than inland. So, if you want some relief, head down to the Puget Sound or out to the coastlines of Washington and Oregon, where you won't be just quite as hot. As you go through Saturday, you can still see the strong easterly winds across the region here. As we go towards Sunday, still the same thing. Now, as we go into Monday, you'll notice as we get into Monday morning, late morning here, we're going southerly across the region. That's the start of the marine push here. And this could cause some convective activity. You get some diffluent flow aloft, and you get some instability from the heating around, and we could get some thunderstorms in the area. Again, this is what I'm watching closely here. As we go through Tuesday, you can see where southwest flow, we cool off quite a bit across western portions here, BC, Washington, and Oregon. We could be getting some convection, mainly BC, as we go on in through Tuesday. I want to show you this here, 2,500 foot temperatures. You can see how we're pretty chilly going into tomorrow morning, but we quickly start to warm things up a bit here as we turn that flow offshore. By Saturday, we get really warm all the way up into BC aloft. And as we go into Sunday here, a very nice warm day again. And we're going to do it one more time Monday before we finally start to see this marine influence cool down at least western portions as we go through the day Tuesday. Now, checking this out, this is 2-meter temperature anomaly here. You see what we're dealing with now. It's pretty nice days, but we're still been a little bit chillier than normal. And now as we go through, now this is for Saturday evening here. Check out the entire west coast, all the way through British Columbia, Vancouver Island, in the Queen Charlotte's above average, all the way up to the coastal ranges of Washington, Oregon as well here too. Sunday, very warm again, and then Monday, that one more warm day. This is the 18Z European, so it doesn't go quite out that far. You have to take my word for it on that one. But this is looking at GFS for Seattle, highlighting that chance for some 90-degree weather here for Sunday, Monday. And funny that this shows 90 and 92. These were the previous high records for these days on the 26th of June and the 27th of June before that extreme heat wave we had last year. So any other year except for last year, we'd be talking about potential record highs for Seattle in this type of a heat wave. And then you'll see we cool down a bit here as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, but then we warm it back up again here in the extended. So we might get some more ridging, and we could have a nice 4th of July coming up here. But we should not be returning to those temperatures down into the 60s that we had been dealing with prior to this upcoming heat wave here. So summer is arriving for the Pacific Northwest for sure. And this is just showing that here, June 26th, 27th, the high temperatures, the record highs were 90 and 92 in 2006 and 2015. But last year shattered those. Here's the GFS for Seattle, Tacoma, the 18Z. You can see Saturday warming up pretty nicely to the mid 80s here, towards 90 for Sunday, and even potentially above 90 for Monday here. So yeah, we might be looking at back-to-back 90-degree days across the Puget Sound there. The European paints a little bit different picture, but I think the European is underdoing this as well. We hit 71 today. It's been having a pretty drastic cold bias here, and this is 5 degrees off today. It's probably going to be 5 degrees off probably each of these days as well. The 91 may be accurate, but again, that could easily turn out to be 93 or 94 degrees across the region. And then it cools us down pretty good as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. The GFS showed some of that, and then it warms us back up again for a bit here as we go on into the extended. But we'll see what we're going to deal with after this trough. It looks like there may be some more ridging coming after that, so we might warm up again, but it doesn't look like an extreme heat wave in the extended. Here's a GFS for Portland. Really, this might be a potential for 3 90-degree days in Portland before you cool back down again and some troughing here. So, but we'll take a look at that. Let's just deal with the heat wave first for now. Now, looking at the end of the heat wave here, here's the European here, and this is looking at Monday evening about 7 p.m. You can see the convective available potential energy across portions of the Oregon Cascades and Washington, British Columbia as well. So there is going to be the potential for a thunderstorm or two across the region. Again, we'll continue to watch this. We'll wait for the high resolution models to come in range here over the next couple of days here to try to really pinpoint if this is going to happen or not. As we go through the day Tuesday, you can see that cape kind of moving up into British Columbia, where the best chance of a thunderstorm is going to be there, and probably off towards Alberta, the Rockies, and Montana. ending the threat here. But here's the GFS also. This is for Monday afternoon as well. And you can see like kind of showing that instability for Western Washington, Oregon Cascades, Washington Cascades up into British Columbia here, even for portions of Eastern Washington. And yeah, so we're going to watch that thunderstorm potential closely. Sometimes that's how our heat waves end. The marine push comes in and we can get some convective activity with it. And kind of showing what the GFS shows here. This is Monday afternoon. Check it out. There's a little bit of a hint of some precipitation over the lowlands there too. So maybe we'll get a thunderstorm across the Puget Sound. Who knows? But at this point, it's kind of just, it's kind of an iffy forecast for now. It's not really worth getting too caught up in it. But the Europeans kind of showing that potential for some convection over the Cascades, Washington, Oregon as well. So yeah, last year we were dealing with this here. I was talking about this quite a bit last year. We were witnessing Ground Zero, one of the most amazing meteorological events to ever hit North America, right here in Seattle, Washington. The slightest bit of wind difference over a distance of a few miles between the chillier Puget Sound and the much warmer interior could mean between 103 and 113 for Seattle. We ended up at 108, which blasted away the all-time record high for Seattle. So it was an extreme event. Had we had a little bit more of an easterly component, we probably would have got up towards 110, 111 for Seattle. But it really was a very unique setup. The ridge positioned itself perfectly over British Columbia. It helped out with the offshore flow. The ridging was just so strong that it just obliterated many records for British Columbia. Washington State set its all-time record high. Seattle blasted it. Portland, you know, we just set all kinds of records, and we may not see another event like that for, like Cliff Mass said, for decades. Potentially our lifetime could pass by and we could not see an event of this magnitude or of this rarity, you know, across the Pacific Northwest. So just kind of highlighting what was going on last year, that just how rare that was. But yeah, so I'll probably be out dust devil chasing tomorrow, and if it looks good, we start getting good dust devils, I plan to go live and just kind of let you guys watch and see what a dust devil chase, you know, is like. I enjoy them. They're very fun. It's a lot of action, and it's very fun being up close to semi-powerful. Some of these little dust devils can get going. I've seen some with winds in excess of 50 miles per hour, and they can start to pick up all kinds of tumbleweeds and a lot of dust get in them, and even trash and garbage and stuff like that. But they're pretty fun to watch, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. And then I'll probably be back on Saturday to do another briefing here, and then we'll talk one more time about the potential 90-degree days for Sunday and Monday. So yeah, if you guys are watching, you haven't subscribed yet, help out the channel, click like, click subscribe, tell your friends, and I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow in the live stream or on Saturday during the weather brief. So I will see you guys later.